So today we're going to be treating this client's eyes, and I will be walking you through the mapping process. To map the crow's feet, I'm going to have the client smile, and now you can kind of see the lines that we're going to be treating around. So as they hold the smile, you're just going to draw in the treatment parameters of the general crow's feet with a white eyeliner. And you can relax. When treating the upper eye, sometimes by lifting the brow, we're able to lift that skin a little bit more too. So today I'm going to be treating in this little triangle area to lift all of this and pull that lid back. So before we treat the client, we're going to get them numb. I use a long Q-tip, get a dollop of numbing cream. Today I'm using the Zensa numbing cream, and then just apply a nice thick layer. It's always really helpful just to advise your client to relax and keep their eyes closed so that none of the numbing cream gets in the eye. If numbing cream does get in the eye, it's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit uncomfortable. When applying to the top of the eye, make sure that you're being just as gentle and caring as possible. You really want to make sure that the client is relaxed and just very comfortable with each step of the process. So walking them through each step is also very helpful. When it comes to getting to the eyelashes, you're going to be a little more precise with it, getting as close as possible, but trying to avoid getting it in the actual eyelashes. Now that we have the numbing cream on the client, we're going to place a thin layer of plastic wrap on the area that's numbing. This helps the numbing cream penetrate a little bit deeper. Now that the client has numbed a little bit, we're going to start the process of removing the numbing cream. So I like to take it off a little bit at a time. This is gauze covered in witch hazel. Do not use alcohol. Alcohol is going to burn the eyes. So just a nice witch hazel and wipe off your numbing cream. Now that the area has dried a little bit from the witch hazel, we are going to begin treatment. So hold down the button and then get it close enough to the skin to make a mark. How does that feel?
Fine, I don't feel it really.
Okay, cool. Always check in with your client to observe their pain tolerance and make sure that it's comfortable as possible. For our pattern, we are just basically treating in a window method. You are trying to stagger each of the dots to stay in line with one another, but to be in between the two dots above. You're going to hold it on the skin long enough just for it to sizzle a couple times and then move on. If you hold the arc down too long, it's going to result in bad burns. That is a little more painful for your client, and that's going to delay the healing process. As we work our way closer to the smile lines, I'm going to have the client smile, and we're going to be working in between the lines so that we pull them apart, basically. So just make a couple reference points, and you know that you're going to be treating on this side and this side of the fine line. Okay, you can relax. So at this point, the client's getting a little irritated with the sensation, so it's okay to stop, put a little more numbing on the area, and then come back to that area later. For the upper eye, this area along the lash line is by far the most sensitive. So I always start from the brow and work my way down, and we're going to try to get as close to the lash line as possible, but you really need to be mindful of your client's reaction. When working within the eyebrow, it's really important to avoid the eyebrow hairs. It will cinch them a little bit. This is not the end of the world, but one, it doesn't smell the greatest, and you also really don't want to take the client's eyebrows off. Are you pretty numb? How's your pain?
It's okay.
So these two lines are working within your client's occipital bone. We are going to take the lines down now, getting closer to the tear duct to outline the treatment parameters. You want to be sure that you're not treating too close to the tear duct, as this is a very sensitive area, but also if you treat too close to the tear duct, it really is going to influence the swelling. So as you can see, I just made a diagonal line going from the beginning of her eyebrow down to the lash line and really just avoided that entire tear duct area. So now that we have treated the majority of the eye in the crow's feet, you're actually able to see the skin pulling in both directions. It's getting much tighter, but at this point, since we have this small triangle left to do, you can see that it's rippling as it's being pulled in all the different directions for tightening.